Democrats consistently make the worst decisions for their cities and states. However, since many of them are entrenched in deep blue areas, they are in no danger of actually losing elections. And what we're going to see today, of course, is Brandon Gill calling out JB Pritzker on many of these bad decisions that he's been making. But before we begin, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe on this video so we can get through the algorithms. Here we go.
Let me ask you, do you know who Franklin Jose Pena Ramos is?
Are you talking about the federal government's cost to the state of Illinois as a result of the failed
Ramos is?
Immigration policy?
It's a yes or no question. I'll take that as a no. Do you know who Jose Martinez Rangel is?
No, sir, I do not.
You don't. You should. Those are two men who came into this country illegally, and murdered 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungary in my home state of Texas. Do you think that elected officials should have welcomed them into our communities?
Sir, before they committed a crime, I'm not sure what you're asking.
Do you think that they should have been welcomed into our communities? That's a very straightforward question.
Someone who commits murder, no. Someone who commits murder should be apprehended.
Why did you state during Biden's border crisis that illegal aliens, quote, should have been welcomed and helped by elected officials?
When you say illegal aliens, these are people who are given asylum.
And helped into our communities.
People who are
That's
asylum
easy
seekers.
Yes or no question.
Well, you're mischaracterizing them.
It is your position that they should have been welcomed into our communities. Is that correct?
There were asylum seekers who were here legally.
And then they went on and murdered and 12-year-old Jocelyn.
Someone who commits murder should be held accountable. We do that in the state.
And you think they should have been welcomed into our communities before they did?
I don't know how you can tell before somebody commits a crime that they are going to
secure the border and not let illegal aliens come into our communities. Do you support abolishing ICE?
Asylum seekers.
Do you support abolishing ICE?
No, I believe we need an immigration force in the United States.
You don't.
In fact,
you believe a budget is a moral document. Is that correct?
I do.
You do. You tweeted that. Your administration gave $12,000 to the Organized Communities Against Deportations, which just this past month was marching in the streets of Chicago with signs saying abolish ICE. Do you support this?
I do not.
Is this a reflection of your moral values? Is this a reflection of your moral values?
I do not support abolishing an immigration force.
That's good to hear. Mr. Governor, do you think that biological men should be able to use women's restrooms?
I'm not sure how this has to do with immigration.
It's just a yes or no question.
Why are you?
It's very easy to answer. Do you think that men should be using
doing fact finding? I'm sorry?
Do you think men should be allowed in women's restrooms?
I'm not sure why this has come to this issue.
You tweeted that as a protest against President Trump, everyone should use the other gender's bathroom today. Have you ever used the women's restroom?
Not that I can recall ever, sir.
You wanted everybody else to do it, but you didn't?
Sir, I'm not sure why we're on a topic that has nothing to do with today's hearing.
You're advocating for men to use women's restrooms, but you didn't do it?
I do not advocate that, no.
Well, actually, you did. You said everyone should use the other gender's bathroom today.
I can tell you that you are politicizing this in a way that what we ought to be focusing on is
the failure of the federal government to use women's restrooms
and the Congress to deal with immigration reform.
Do you regret encouraging men to use women's restrooms?
Again, you're taking us on topics that have.
Did you ever consider that women don't want you in their bathrooms?
So you're admitting that this is just a political circus?
No, I'm asking you because you put this on the internet for everybody.
And really about you grandstanding.
I'm asking you, have you ever considered that women don't want you in their bathrooms? That's a private space that they don't want you or any other man in.
Congressman, let's talk about your
failure
to
normal
vote
people
for Medicaid. In fact, you want to take Medicaid away.
Men should be in women's restrooms.
And
That's a very straightforward question.
You apparently want people
and you're encouraging men to use women's restrooms where there could be underage girls. Do you think that's appropriate?
Sir, if we're going to politicize this, let's talk about what you're doing to people in this country
that's normal?
By virtue of your votes.
All right, let's move on. Let's
President Trump.
Do you support Hamas's agenda?
Sir, I do not. They are a terrorist organization.
Your administration gave a grant to the Muslim Civic Coalition, which just 2 weeks after October 7th was marching in the streets of Chicago to, quote, stop the U.S.-backed genocide against Gaza. Is that a reflection of your values?
I have spent my life fighting anti-Semitism.
No, I'm asking, is this a reflection of your values?
I'm not sure why you're attacking me
because your
about something an
administration
organization.
gave money to this organization.
I'm explaining to you that what we do in the state of Illinois is stand up for what we believe are.
You didn't
our
have to
rights
give
and
money to
freedoms.
the Muslim Civic Coalition
People
to
have
march
the
and
right to
call,
express themselves.
to stop the
We
U.S.
don't-
backed genocide against Gaza. That was your choice.
I know
that was your
Republicans want to
administration.
take away people's right to free speech. We don't in the state of Illinois. And
They've got the right to free speech. They don't have the right to tax dollars, and you gave them to them.
So this entire hearing was about calling the sanctuary state governors to testify before Congress about how basically they're going to flout federal law and not cooperate with Donald Trump's deportation efforts. And that was primarily what Brandon Gill was talking about. However, he did venture into other waters as well. One of the most entertaining, by the way, was JB Pritzker's tweet about, yes, as a protest against Donald Trump's rescinding protections for trans kids, everyone should use the other gender's bathroom today. And JB Pritzker even denied saying this, even though it is still up on X to this day. It was tweeted all the way back in 2017, and guess what? It still stands. However, when pressed on this, right, Brandon Gill says, have you ever used the women's bathroom? And JB Pritzker's response, of course not. Why would I do that? Because you endorsed it. You said everyone should. You're not even following your own recommendation, and we all know exactly what that makes you. However, of course, on top of just stupid stuff like this, you have these statistics coming out of Illinois that, yes, from 2012 to 2022, they've lost nearly 1 million people due to the direction the state is actually taking. And something else that's rather interesting is that if you do live in Illinois and your age is 0 to 18, you're among the largest group to be leaving any state in America. All right. There's a fast demographic shift going on in Chicago, right? The youths are leaving because guess what? There's no opportunity. There's no safety. And of course, the Democrats love to take care of illegal immigrants above their own citizens. But it's not only that. Tax competitiveness. Illinois has dropped from the 32nd ranked to the 38th ranked in the entire nation. So yeah, their taxes are way too high. And of course, we all know exactly why that is. Don't forget also, property taxes are among the highest in the nation. And the employment growth rate is only 1.4%, well below the national average. Okay, so by every single metric, Illinois is a failing state. But of course, JB Pritzker, despite all of this, isn't going to try to fix anything. He's going to come out and complain about how we're trying to mischaracterize illegal immigrants. But Brandon Gill ain't having none of it, right? In JB Pritzker's own words, you want to welcome people into this nation who are illegal immigrants? You want to welcome the people who came in and murdered Jocelyn Nungaray? But JB Pritzker also responds, well, how do we know that in advance? Easy. You do background checks. You have border security. You only allow in people who we know who they are, who are following the rules, and of course meet all of our necessary quotas here in America. But to JB Pritzker, he doesn't care about any of that. All he cares about is allowing the asylum seekers into this nation, even though off the top of my head, I believe 80% of the people seeking asylum in this nation do not qualify under our asylum rules. And instead, JB Pritzker is going to come out and attack Congress, attack Republicans for not wanting to work with Democrats on fixing the supposed immigration problem. All right. Well, guess what? We didn't need any new legislation. All we had to have was the political will to do it. And that has been made painfully clear by Donald Trump's success over this past year. So yes, JB Pritzker doesn't have a leg to stand on. And as a matter of fact, the state of Illinois will have spent $2.5 billion on illegal immigrants by the end of 2025. All right. So obviously, what is the main priority of a governor like JB Pritzker? It's not following the rule of law. It's not protecting American citizens or Illinois citizens at that. It's about kowtowing to the leftist woke ideology about open borders and Democrat talking points. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me.